Hi, Donna here with Yoga for You, offering you a flow class today. So let's take a seat. If you have a blanket or a cushion you'd like to elevate your hips with, please feel free to do so. Sit up nice and tall. Take the opportunity to roll your shoulders just a few times, get comfortable. And I invite you to close your eyes. Allow your awareness, your perceptions to move inwards. Feel yourself settling into this moment in time. Feel yourself settling into the space that you've chosen. And feel yourself move into your own practice. Whatever that might mean to you today. You may have a lot on your mind that you're working through. You may be feeling a bit lethargic today. Or you might just be ready to go. So wherever you're coming from at this moment, just sit with it for a moment. Allow the breath to deepen. If you're comfortable with Ujjayi Pranayama, begin to allow the breath to deepen enough that you can hear yourself breathe. It doesn't have to be so loud that if there's anyone else in the room with you, they need to hear you breathe. But you can hear your own rhythm and pattern of breath. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Sometimes you just have to take the lunge. Bring your palms together at your heart space in Anjali Mudra. And if you'd like, set an intention, a sankalpa for your practice. Maybe it's just an attitude of gratitude that you're on your mat. You're ready to begin. And release the hands and open the eyes. So taking a seat facing the front of your mat, shoulders are relaxed. We've got the knees bent, the feet on the floor. We're going to do just a few teasers here. So reach your arms up, retract those shoulders back. So it feels as if we're plugging those shoulders towards the spine. Breathe in here. And as we exhale, zip up your snug jeans. So draw on the lower abdominals and slowly start to lower yourself to the mat. And then before the shoulder blades touch down, slowly reverse it and bring yourself back upright. And again, we're going to slowly release ourselves down, maintaining the core strength here, and slowly draw yourself back up. Let's do this 2 more times. As we begin to release ourselves to the mat, change your mind and bring yourself back up. And 1 more time, slowly release yourself to the mat and bring yourself back up. Now this time, we're going to go all the way down, but we're going to take it slowly. So lower part way and pause. Maintain the steady Ujjayi breath, and then lower a little bit more and pause. And then lower a little more, shoulder blades are still off the mat, pause, and then release down. Extend the arms, extend the legs, shake it out a little bit. Bring everything back in and hug those knees into your chest. And now allow the knees to move away from the ribs until the knees are more or less stacked over the hips. If this feels too much for your lower back today, then bring the legs in a little closer. but I'm going to work at bringing my knees further away. You can feel the back wants to arch. So I'm going to zip up those snug jeans by drawing my lower abdominals down. Draw the sides of the waistline down. Now bring the fingertips behind the skulls to support. I don't usually instruct you to interlace your hands here because the tendency then is to use the strength to pull the neck. So I'm using my fingers to support the weight of my head. Elbows open wide out to the side. Pause here. If you're really working at drawing the sides of your waistline down, this right here is a lot of work in itself. Now slowly begin to peel your torso up off the floor. Pause here. Extend your right leg straight and make it move into a twist for the obliques. Come back to neutral and lower down. Now let's do that again. Sides of the waistline draw down first so you're not overarching. Curl your shoulders up or back off the mat. Extend the left leg and then move into a twist. Left elbow to right knee. Come back to neutral and lower down. We're going to keep alternating. Peel yourself up. Extend the leg. Twist. Come back to neutral and then lower down. Peel up, extend leg, twist. Neutral, release. Peel up, extend leg, twist, neutral, and release. Peel up, extend leg, twist, neutral, and release. One more time on each side. Peel up, extend leg, twist, neutral, release. Last time. Peel up, extend leg, twist, neutral, and release. Hug your knees in. Rock yourself a little bit. So I'm hoping what you might have picked up there is how important the quality is as opposed to quantity. So we didn't do a lot, but I'm hoping you really felt that there. Extend your legs straight out along the mat. Bring your hands right up towards your hips and spin your palms in to face the body. Point through the toes. Again, draw the lower abdominals down so we're zipping up those snug jeans. Peel your head and shoulders off the mat. Look down the length of your body. Now, if you feel comfortable in doing so, float those heels up. If not, that's fine. Hold it here. And then float everything down. Stretch the arms overhead, breathe in. On the exhale, bring your hands down by your hips. Take a deep breath in here. On your exhale, peel yourself up and pause. Don't pause the breath, keep breathing. One more, and then release down. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, they come down by the hips. Breathe in. Exhale, peel yourself up. This is like a canoe pose. Hold here. Release down. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. This is the last one, and I'm going to make it more challenging if you want. Bring your hands down. Now this time we're going to peel ourselves up. If you feel comfortable with it, bring your arms either out to the side or overhead, gazing towards the ceiling. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all back down. Hug those knees into your chest. Rock yourself a little. We're going to make our way from here all the way to down dog. So I'm going to cross my ankles. Rock forward, roll over my ankles as I root my hands down, step back, and let's find that first dog of our practice. So make it your own dog. You might want to try your feet a little wider than you normally do. Maybe your hands are a little wider. Root down through the fingertips, every one, not just a couple of them, all 10. Press down through 10 knuckles. Lift your armpits up, away from the mat. And then slide those hips back. Draw your front ribs in. Draw your lower abdominals in, nice dog. And from here, let's ripple forward into plank. Catch yourself in your lower belly so you don't sag and reverberate back up. Hold it here. Check in if you've dropped your head, lift your head. Now cinch your front ribs together like you're knitting them together. Belly in, pause here. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift the hips up high. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Take one more breath. Now gaze forward between your hands. Step, walk, or lightly hop to the front of your mat. Find your forward fold of Uttanasana, maintaining a little bit of a micro bend in the knees or a deeper bend if you need to. Shoulders slide away from the ears, away from the floor, as if you're moving your shoulders towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift your heart and lengthen. Exhale, fold more deeply. 2 more times. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Last round. Breathe in, lengthen. And exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen, rise to stand, reaching to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale here. And exhale, release your hands down. Find mountain pose of Tadasana. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthening the heart. Exhale, step the right foot back, release the knee down. Inhale, rise up. Now each time, we're going to be repeating this a lot. So each time, without my cue, try to lengthen your tailbone down. Lift your pubic bone up towards your navel. Start to lift up through the chest as the arms come up. So we're not just dumping into the lower back here. Breathe in here. As you exhale, release your hands to the mat. The right knee lifts, step back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. The knees can come first if you'd like. Try to keep the shoulders from dipping below the elbows. Inhale, curl up. A baby cobra, a higher cobra, or even upward dog, whatever you choose. Press back, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Keep your hips and pelvis level. Exhale, step that right foot through lunge. Release the left knee down. Again, start with your tailbone. Lengthen it down first so we get a long spine before we try to lift the front body up. Reach the hands towards the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, release your hands down. Left knee lifts, step forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, rise up. Exhale, bow forward for the second side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot back, lunge, release the knee. Inhale, rise up. Reach the hands. Exhale, release your hands down, lift your left knee, step back, plank. Breathe in. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, knee back, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through, lunge, release right knee. Inhale, rise up into this low crescent. Exhale, release your hands to the mat, lift your right knee, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Now pause here just a moment and find the breath. Release the hands by your side, Samastitihi, equal balance. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step your right foot back, lunge, release the knee down. Inhale, rise up, that low crescent. Hug that outer left hip back a little. Do your best to keep your hips and pelvis level. Now release your right hand down to the mat. Left hand comes to your hip. Lengthen your heart forward. So pull your heart towards the front of your mat and begin to revolve towards that left leg. Right shoulder rolls onto your back. Keep spinning your left chest open. And if you like, reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Find the breath here. One more breath. Exhale, release that left hand down, lift the right knee, step back, plank. Breathe in here. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step it through, lunge. Now this time, keep your back knee up. Hop your left hand off to the left a little. Hug your right hip back. Lengthen your heart forward. So we're creating a long spine. And begin to revolve from the abdomen. Sweep your right fingertips to the ceiling if that feels comfortable for you to do so. One more breath. Exhale, touch that right hand down. Step that left foot forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow forward for the second side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step that left foot back. Release the knee down. Inhale, rise up, that low crescent. Hug the outer right hip back a little, lengthen the tailbone. Release your left hand down. Lengthen your heart forward first. Hug that right hip back and begin to revolve to the right, rolling the right chest open, perhaps reaching the right fingertips to the ceiling. Breathe in. Exhale, release your right hand down as the left knee rises, plank position. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, curl up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step it through, lunge. Stay in this high lunge. Walk your right foot out to the right a little bit. Hug the left hip back as you simultaneously bring your heart forward. Shoulder blades roll towards the back. Come into that revolved lunge. Take one more breath. Exhale, release the left hand down, step that right foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And pause a moment. Smooth out the breath. Remind yourself of your intention if you set one. Release the hands down by your side, Samastitihi. That's that equal standing. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the heart. Exhale, step that right foot back, lunge. Release the knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up, that low crescent. Pause here. Bring your palms to your heart. Now lift your heart, the center of the sternum, up into those thumbs. Hinge forward, maintaining length in your spine. Begin to revolve to the left and see if you can hook your right elbow outside that left thigh. Press the palms together. Lift the heart again And as you isometrically hug that left hip back, begin to spin the chest open towards the ceiling. Take one more breath here. And then release the hands down. Lift your right knee up, step back, plank. Breathe in. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, knee back and down dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step it through lunge. Now this time we're going to stay high again. So walk your hands up to your hips. Tilt the tail down as the pubic bone, the navel rises, and lift the chest. Roll your shoulders back and start to hug your elbows towards one another behind your back. Breathe here. Add the arms into this high crescent or Anjaneyasana. Fix your gaze, find your drishti point. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Hinge forward. Now, if you prefer, you can drop that back knee like we just did. Otherwise, we're going to start to twist open. Hook your left elbow. Now, pull your right hip back and your chest forward. So they're moving in opposite directions. Press your palms together as you twist. Take one more breath. Look down to your right big toe, touch down. Step your left foot forward to meet your right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, bow for the second side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot back. Release that knee down and start to rise up. That low crescent pose. Keep hugging that right hip back. Breathe here. Bring your palms together at your heart space. Hinge forward, maintaining length in the spine. And see if you can hook that left elbow. Press the palms together to give yourself a little more resistance to lengthen. And then slowly begin to revolve to the right. See if you can hug those shoulders onto your back. Take one more breath. Come down, hands to the floor. Lift that left knee up. Step back, plank position. Breathe in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, knee back and down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Now root down. We're going to rise up and bring our hands to our hips. Tilt the tail down. Feel the pubic bone and navel rise. Now shoulder blades roll together. Elbows roll together. Add the arms into Anjaneyasana. Fix your gaze. Bring your palms together at your heart. Hinge forward. Hook that right elbow. Now, as I press my palms together, I'm pulling my left hip back and my chest forward. Slowly begin to revolve open. Breathe. One more breath. Look down to your left big toe, touch down. Step your right foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment here. If you are comfortable in your practice closing your eyes, you're welcome to do so. If not, that's fine as well. Take one more breath here. On your exhale, release your hands by your side. Find Samasthiti. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen the heart. Exhale, step that right foot back. Step the left foot back, plank position. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, curl up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, meet back and down dog. Now pause here for a moment. Do your own little scan. Some of us might be working more towards rooting through the hands. We might notice that our hands roll up. Some of us might be working towards not collapsing through the ribs, the midsection. Some of us might be working towards getting our heels to the mat. So just scan and just notice where you're at this time. Take one more breath here. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step it through lunge. Root that right hip back. Rise up, hands to your hips. Now let's start. Tilt the tail down as the pubic bone, the navel, the chest rises. Shoulders roll back. Start to hug those elbows towards midline on your back body. Reach your arms towards the ceiling. Breathe. Take one more breath here from Anjaneyasana. We're going to spin our left heel down and come to that long edge of the mat. That's just such a nice little transition here. Turn your toes in just ever so slightly to really activate those inner thighs. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge from your hip creases, folding forward, bringing your hands down to the mat beneath your face. Find a few breaths here. If you feel comfortable walking your hands back behind you, as if you're walking them towards the wall, behind you, walk them back, and then shift your weight, your bum forward just slightly. If your head is touching the floor, walk your feet in just a little closer. One more breath here. And then bring the hands back. Lift the chest and lengthen. And if you need to widen your stance a little here, that's fine. Start to bend your left knee and come into a side lunge or skandasana. Keep your chest from collapsing. Lift it up. And try to make as flat and nice back as you can. Breathe here. Now some of you might be like, oh, I just want to go all the way down here. I feel like I get a better stretch. That's great if that's where you want to be. Maybe you're like, nope, I want to be up a little higher. That's fine too. Now root your right fingertips down. You can come right up onto the fingertips if you want. Tempt those hands. And let's start to revolve to the left, reaching the left fingertips up to the ceiling. That right shoulder tends to want to come in, so roll the right shoulder back as you open that left arm. Stay really spacious across the collarbones. Take one more breath here, and we're going to come to the back of the mat in a lunge. So pivot that right heel up, and we're right back to a lunge. Step the left foot back, plank. Breathe in. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, curl up cobra or up dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Take a few breaths here again. Scan. One more round of breath. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Hands to your hips, start to rise. So make your adjustments through the hips and pelvis. Tilt the tail down, lengthen that spine, lift the pubic bone, the navel, and the chest. Pull those elbows back, and then add the arms into Anjaneyasana, that high crescent pose. Fix your gaze for a moment. Just take one more breath here, and we're going to spin the right heel down and come right back to that wide-angled forward fold, or Padottanasana. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Roll the chest open and begin to fold. As you fold, your shoulders may want to roll in, especially if you have tight shoulders. Try to roll them back, even if you need to bend your elbows to accomplish this. Some of you, your arms may come all the way down in the direction of the floor. If your shoulders are tight, that may not even be an option to get the hands away from the sacrum. Take one more breath here. Release the hands to the mat so you can lift your heart, lengthen. Walk those feet a little wider. If you need to, bend your right knee and come into that side lunge. So lift the chest. See if you can keep from the crown of the head to the tailbone all in a nice level plane. Again, on this side, if you want to come all the way down, you're welcome to, or stay up. Take one more breath in your side lunge. Tent onto those left fingers and begin to revolve open to the right, reaching those right fingertips to the ceiling. Watch that the left shoulder doesn't come with you. Roll it back so you're spacious through the collarbones. Take one more breath. Now we're going to walk to that lunge at the front of the mat. So I'm going to spin my left heel up, we're back into a lunge. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Again, if you'd like to close your eyes here, do so. If you're more comfortable just with a soft gaze downwards, that's fine as well. Find a steady breath. Take one more round of breath here. And release the hands down by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bow to the earth. Inhale, lengthen your heart. Exhale, step your right foot back, but instead of a full lunge, we're only going to step back about 3/4 of the way. All 10 toes face the front edge of your mat, then shift your weight into your back heel, working towards 2 straight legs if possible. Now you might need to bring your hands up onto blocks. I didn't grab blocks today, but you might feel more comfortable with that. If your back heel is really lifted, narrow the length of your stance. Now check in if your left hip, if you just let it drop towards the floor. Lift your left hip up and drop your frontal right hip bone out, down a little. So you create a more level pelvis here. Begin to fold. You could walk your fingertips forward and tent those fingertips, pressing your mat forward as you drive your hips back. If you have that level of flexibility in the back of that left leg. If not, just do what feels right for you, that you're getting a nice sufficient stretch there, especially in that left hamstrings. Take one more breath here. And from Parsvottanasana, bring your right hand in closer to that left foot. It might be on a block. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Now lengthen your chest, your sternum forward. Pull it forward and pull your left hip back simultaneously. From there, begin to revolve open again. So start from your belly, roll open, maybe lifting the left fingertips to the ceiling or let them remain on the hip. Revolve triangle, part of Rita Trikonasana. Take one more breath. Exhale, touch down. Bend into the front knee and hop your right foot back further, and then release that right knee down. Walk your left foot over to the left a little, so you're making more space in the center. Bringing both hands down into what we use commonly here as lizard pose. Shoulders slide back. Sternum is open. Now you could stay here, or if you've got blocks or anything, you're welcome to drop down to your right forearm, or maybe both forearms. Think of length here. Regardless of how deep you've gone in the posture, Try to lengthen the crown of the head in one direction. Reach your toes in the opposite direction. Now, this left knee might kind of be just swinging out. It's up to each person, each individual body. But imagine that you're hugging it in a little, not to bring it misaligned, but actually to help align it. So as you're down here, start to hug your inner left thigh in towards midline, towards the body. Take one more breath here. Make your way back up. Walk that left foot in and bring that left hand outside the foot to frame the foot. Moving into Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Roll your left toes up to the ceiling and press your left big toe mound. So the toes are in a nice straight line. Again, lift your chest, shoulders back, sternum forward. Now isometrically, which means action without movement, press down into your left heel and try and pull your left foot back towards your left hip, but don't actually allow it to move. So try and pull it back. As I'm trying to pull my left foot back, I'm drawing my heart forward. So I'm getting these opposing isometric actions in the body. Take one more breath here. Shift forward into a lunge, lifting your right knee up. Step back to plank. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra and meet you back in downward. Now lift up your heels, bend your knees, look forward where you ideally would like to land. Either step or lightly hop forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow forward for that second side. Inhale, lift the heart. Now this time we're going to step that left foot back, but we're only going about 3/4 of the way. All 10 toes face forward. And in Parsvottanasana, we're not trying to stand on a balance beam. Okay, so I am not putting my back foot right behind my front heel. I've got my feet as wide as my hips, and the reason I'm doing this stance, is to give myself more freedom in the SI joint. So I'm not creating a torquing force through the SI joint. All 10 toes forward. If you cannot get your back heel down, step it in a little closer. Now push your fingertips forward and press your back heel down and see if you can drive the hips back. Now notice here, if your right hip is dropped lower than your left, lift your right hip up. Start to drop that left frontal hip bone down a bit and do your best to create a nice level pelvis here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold if that's where you want to go today. Take one more breath here in this pyramid pose. And then lift the chest. Slide your left hand in inside that right ankle. Bring your right hand to your right hip. As my sternum, my heart moves forward, I draw my right hip back further. Lengthen your spine first before you try to move into a twist. And then start to twist. Rotate the abdomen, the ribs, and chest towards the right. Maybe the right hand lifts to the ceiling or remains on your hip if that feels better for the shoulder joint. Parivrtta Trikonasana or revolve triangle. Take one more breath. Look down, touch down. Hop your left foot back and release the knee. Now walk your right foot over to the right so we can bring both hands center for that lizard pose. Shoulders back as the chest opens, expands. Remain spacious. You can stay on your hands, on blocks, or drop down to your forearms. If you're dropping down, the goal isn't how deep you can go. It's whether you can maintain the length, the integrity of the spine while you move deeper into your posture. So draw the crown of the head forward, shoulders back and chest forward. Now check in with your right inner thigh and start to hug your right inner thigh towards your body or towards midline. Find a steady breath here. One more round of breath. Now start to make your way back up onto your hands. If you're not there already, walk that right foot in. Begin to straighten your right leg and roll those toes up. So half splits here. Press through the right big toe mound. Sparkle your toes. Now hug your outer right hip back. Lift your chest a bit. To create that strong isometric action in this stretch, press down through your right heel and then try and pull your right foot back towards your right hip, but don't actually allow it to move, but try. And as you're pulling back, pull the center of your chest, your sternum forward, and create this balanced action between the stretches. Take one more round of breath here. And then shift forward, lift the left knee, step your right foot back, plank position, breathe in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, curl up. Now this time, allow the knees to splay wide, big toes together. Stack one hand on top of the other. Make a pillow for your forehead and pause in child's pose. Feel the breath move through the back lobes of the lungs into the back ribs. Even feel an expansive quality in your kidneys, in the lower back, breathing there. Take one more round of breath from here. And slowly make your way up. And we're going to take a seat. Bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. Sit up nice and tall. And we never want to push down through the knees or on any joint, but use the strength of your inner thighs and try to press the inner thighs downwards towards the mat. As the inner thighs press down, lift your sternum up. Hinge forward. Bring your chin in slightly towards your throat to elongate the back of the neck. And you could pause, maintaining length in your spine, particularly if you have any low back issues, herniated or bulging disc, things like that. If you feel like you're safe to round forward a bit, you can start to release down. Maybe your forearms come down, maybe you're a long way from that, doesn't make any difference. Just listen to what your body's saying to you. Does something feel accessible to you today? Does it not? Take a couple more rounds of breath here. And with your next inhale, begin to rise back up. And extend your right leg out, bringing that left foot to maybe the inner right thigh or wherever it works for you. If you have blocks or a blanket, and your left knee is riding high here, slide some sort of prop or something under that knee to give yourself some support for not only the hip joint, but the knee joint as well. Press through the right big toe. If you don't, then your foot starts to roll out, kind of a default position, that relaxed position, and we're not going to get an even or equal stretch between the inner and outer thigh. So press through that big toe mound. We've got a really nice strong foot. Bring your hands to either side of the legs and lengthen. Shoulders relaxed. We're going to go into Janusirshasana, but I want to try to go into a little revolved one first, since we've been adding so much of that into the practice today. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the left side body a bit more. Now start to reach towards your right pinky toe. Reaching across. If possible, grab that side of the foot, the pinky toe side. If that's not available, then just the outside of the right shin, knee, thigh, wherever you can reach. Now pause here and lengthen again. From here, instead of just trying to fold forward, we're actually going to move it into a twist. So begin to gently revolve the body to the right. It's not going to go very far for most of us, and that's okay. Now see if you can breathe a little more deeply into the left lung, the left rib cage, that whole left side body. Let's take one more breath here together. And then come back towards center. See if you can align your navel more or less over that right thigh. Inhale here. And exhale, begin to bow. Now remember, it's the quality, not so much the quantity. So it's not whether or not you can get all the way down over that right thigh, but it's can you do it with the integrity of lengthening the spine. So lift your gaze a little towards your toes. Lift your chest, relax your shoulders. Get more length through the spine. And then see if you can lengthen over that right leg. Just going to take a couple more breaths here. I'm going to switch my body around a little different angle here because we're going to end up going onto our backs. Now inhale, lift your gaze, look towards your toes, and rise up. Bring that left foot to the floor so the left knee is now facing the ceiling. Hug it in and lengthen. We're going to slide that right foot in. I'm going to give you several choices. Maybe you can wrap your peace fingers around the big toe or grab the foot. We're going to hug it in and then start to extend it up into heron pose. Now, if holding this foot is just, this is not working for you, and that's okay. See if you can hold the leg. You might be down here. I'm not as concerned how high that foot is lifting towards the ceiling, but more if you can lift out of that lower back. Pause here. Now we're going to attempt, and I said attempt, to go onto our backs. I'm going to try to hold on to my leg. So I'm going to move my clasp further down my leg, unless you're really, really flexible. We're going to slowly lower down. And now we're in Supta Pada Angushtasana. We just changed the posture a little. My left leg is still bent. And hold anywhere you can behind this right leg. Keep that right foot active. Notice, as we've been noticing throughout our practice today, what's going on in our body. Notice if you're letting your bum roll up towards the ceiling. Press the tail down and create a little bit of a natural arch in your lumbar spine, your lower back. Now from here, if you feel comfortable and you'd like to extend that left leg straight out along the mat, do so. Flex the foot. Draw the left thigh bone down, so the head of the femur bone, the very top of that thigh, draw down towards the floor. So again, I'm doing this balanced action. My left leg is drawing down as my right leg is trying to create a little bit deeper stretch in the back of that right leg. Now release your hands down by your hips. We're going to try to come up. As my right leg lowers, I'm going to rise up with it. If yours didn't look like that, maybe it looked better. Yay. Maybe it didn't look anything like that. Who cares, right? Unless you have a whole audience watching, doesn't make any difference. And even then, oh well, you know, they're not going to remember. All right, so let's do this on the second side. Left leg is extended. Bring your right leg in and place that sole of the foot anywhere on the inside of that left leg that works for you. Now press through the mound of the left big toe. Lengthen your spine. Inhale that right arm up towards the ceiling. Find more length along that right side body. Now we're going to reach towards the left baby toe. So reach across. If you can grab it, great, or anywhere on the leg. Again, think of length first. Draw your belly in and start to twist to the left. Don't expect to go very far. It's not what we're doing. Keep breathing. One more breath here. Turn towards that left leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold to the degree that works for you. And once you've gotten there, I want you to scan again, check. Could I lengthen more? Lift your gaze towards your left toes. Draw your chest forward a little more length and then bow a little deeper. Take a few breaths here in Janu Sirsasana. Next inhale, lift your gaze, rise up. Place your right foot on the floor with that right knee bent towards the ceiling. Slide that left foot in. If you can clasp that foot, do so. Lengthen again and begin to extend that foot towards the ceiling. It may not go there. That knee might be bent. That's fine. Work it more length through the spine than you do working on how much stretch you're going to get through the back of the leg, because you're going to get both. And we know we're going to come down. Now I'm kind of situated a little, I'm going to scooch. That's a Sanskrit word, scooch. It really is, but it is for me. Here we go. Just slowly start to lower down. Clasp somewhere on the back of that left leg. Now, as I try to increase the stretch to the back of my left leg through those hamstring muscles, I keep my foot active, but now I gotta watch that my bum's not rolling up. So I'm gonna press my tail down, create a little bit of natural arch in my lower back. If you felt comfortable extending that leg out along the floor, extend your right leg, flex the foot, and draw the top of that thigh down towards the earth as you try to draw the left toes towards the top of your mat or behind your head. Take one more round of breath here. Release your hands, but this time we're going to just float that left foot down. Pause a moment as if you're taking a little mini Shavasana. Bring your palms together at your heart space here. Eyes are closed. You can allow the feet and legs to relax a moment. Return to your intention. If you didn't have an intention, return to an attitude of gratitude. And then release the hands down. Bend the knees by planting the feet. Walk the heels in a little closer towards your sits bones. Try to align your ankles beneath your knees. Sometimes if you can bring your feet in too close, then your knees come out beyond the toes. So do your best to align. I'm gently going to draw my lower belly in. And when I say that, I'm not gripping it. It's not a squeeze. It's just a gentle drawing in. And from that action, start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Once you get to a certain point, then it really helps to serve you by wiggling your shoulder blades underneath you. It's going to lift the chest more. Now, notice if your chin is tucked in and your neck is flat. Lift your chin just slightly towards the ceiling. Create a nice little space behind the back of the neck. Check in that you've maintained alignment between ankles and knees, knees to hips. Everything is in a nice alignment. Pause here. Now, if you want to follow me, this is just an option. I'm going to lift my right foot up and extend my right toes towards the ceiling. The tendency here is letting my right hip drop down. So lift the right hip up and try to keep your pelvis level. Take one more breath here. Bend the right knee and place it back down. Pause. If you want, lift your left foot off the floor. Extend the left foot, but watch that left hip doesn't drop towards the earth. Keep your pelvis level. Take one more breath. Bend the knee and plant the foot. Let your shoulder blades widen and lower yourself down. Pause here a moment. Extend the legs. I know we want to hug those knees in. When we do back bends, we tend to want to immediately go into a forward fold for a counter pose. But sometimes it serves us better to find neutral first. So after that back bend, we're going to find neutral. And then hug the right knee in and release it down. Hug the left knee in and release it down. Now give yourself that loving hug, both knees in. Doesn't it feel great? Rock yourself a little side to side along the kidneys. The adrenal glands are back there. And then hold on to the knees and do a little half circle, like you're drawing a smiley face with your knees, because that's probably how your back is feeling. I hope it is. If it's frowning, oh, I'm sorry, and I hope it feels better. Pause here. I'm going to cross my ankles, rock myself up back into a seat. So if you want to turn sideways on your mat, it's entirely up to you, or stay facing the same direction. We're going to take those legs out of it. So what's interesting is these are two separate poses according to yoga. They're often mistaken or considered the same pose. But when the legs come out at a great angle, this is called Soma Konasana. So it means, the Sama means equal, Konasana is angle. So this is an equal, Sama Konasana is an equal angle pose. If your legs, you're looking and you're saying, oh, hell no, Donna, I am not doing that, that's fine. Then you're going to place your legs to whatever degree works for you. What I'm trying to do is, as we've been doing throughout this whole practice, is to maintain length in my spine and to maintain the natural curves. If you've got really tight hamstrings, it's going to be near impossible, and it's going to pull you into a rounded back. So do the very best you can. My feet are active and I'm pressing through the big toe mounds. Now this might be it for you, and you stay here. You could try walking your hands forward. You choose. Watch that your toes don't roll in with you, okay? Keep your toes trying to face towards the ceiling as you make your way forward, if you're going forward. Shoulders relax. Now keep in mind that we're all flexible and tight in different places in our body. Whether it's the way our bodies are built, the way we were born, if it's from our lifestyle, the things we've done throughout our lives. There's so many considerations. So just because one person can take their legs wide and fold forward doesn't mean everyone can or everyone should, and that's fine. Let's just take a couple more breaths here. And then with a flat back, I rise back up. Now I'm going to take this Samakonasana pose into a pose called Uttanasana Konasana. So I'm going to bring my legs in more narrow. That might be where you started. So you can either stay there or you can bring them in a little closer. So ideally, Uttanasana Konasana, your heels are aligned with the hips, outer hips, or close to them. I'm going to press through the big toe mounds, long spine, and I can stay here. If I need a little support, I can bring my hands back, or I could even try folding forward here. Now this forward fold for me is much more challenging than it was when my legs were wider. This takes a lot more flexibility through the backs of my legs to achieve a deeper forward fold here. So do the best you can and make sure you're listening to your lower back, what's going on there. Just going to take a couple rounds of breath here. And then long spine. We're going to rise back up. Now I'm going to bring my legs in either together or closer, okay? The closer the legs come together out in front of me, the more challenging this posture can be, this asana on the lower back, if you have existing issues, all right? This is called Paschimottanasana, or west-facing pose. And I don't recommend this pose if you have herniated or bulging lumbar discs. If that applies to you, long spine, using your hands for support and work the posture here. Or if you feel comfortable, remember, it's quality, not quantity. So lengthen your spine. The hip creases deepen. They kind of move back into my body as I fold forward. Now, once you get to a fold, if you're folding, lift your gaze a bit towards your toes. Shoulders slide back. Lift your chest. Try to lengthen your spine again, like we've been doing the whole practice, and fold again. This posture, or this asana, takes a lot of flexibility through the backs of the legs to achieve this, all right? Now, before you come out, if you are folded forward, I want you to cross your wrists, grab hold of either ankles or calves, wherever you can reach. And I want you to feel like you're pulling your legs together. So pull in towards midline and fold again. And then lift the gaze and rise up. Shake that out. Bring the soles of your feet together again, Baddha Konasana. Long spine. Pause here. If you feel like you want to do a little bow here and that feels good for you, do so. And then coming upright. Any seated position that works for you. So if that means that you're going to use a cushion under your hips, whatever works, find that position. Sit up nice and tall. Let's again roll those shoulders a few times just as a reminder to relax those shoulders. Hands can be supported on the legs. If you would prefer to take Dhyana Mudra, where the right hand rests in the left hand, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes here. Just be present with whatever may come up or has come up throughout your practice. We started the practice here in a seated position, just becoming aware, settling into our space, wherever that might be for you right now. Settling into the moment, into your own body and into your breath. Whether you think you can or that you think you can't, you're right. We oftentimes make our decisions whether we can do something or cannot do something long before we even try. And obviously there are some things that we are not able to do for whatever reason. But I'm talking about the more mundane, the things we do from day to day. We see something and we say, well, we can't do that. When we may actually be able to do so. During this practice, there may have been some things you're saying, I can't do that. And you may have found out that yes, in fact, you really can. Or maybe some things you thought you could do and you're like, oh, hell no, I can't do that. That's okay too. Just take a few more breaths here. Feel yourself settle in. And open the eyes, and let's make our way onto our backs. Extend the legs out. And then draw that right knee into the chest. Reach your right arm out to the right. And slowly start to guide that right knee across the body into a twist. Only twist as deeply as you're able to keep that right shoulder and right arm rooted onto the floor. And then if you like, you can slowly drop your chin towards the right shoulder. Now bring your right arm in first. Slowly bring your gaze to center and bring yourself back to neutral, extending that right leg. Draw the left knee into your chest. Reach your left arm out, anchor it down, and then slowly make your way into your twist. Drop your chin towards your left shoulder. Bring that left arm in first. Bring your gaze back to neutral and come back to center. Extend that left leg. Pause a moment. And then hug both knees into your chest. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Rock your head gently from side to side. And only if your neck feels comfortable, I like to curl my forehead towards my knees, just to take the opportunity to stretch out the back of my neck. My shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, chin tucked in. And then as I release my head down, I try to take that length back down with me. Release one leg at a time out along the length of your mat, letting your feet move a little wider. Now you might feel a little kind of crunching or cinching in the upper back. So press down through your triceps, your upper arm bones. Arch your upper back slightly up. Let the shoulder blades move together a bit and then release down. And you should find that that gives you more spaciousness across the chest and more spaciousness to allow those arms to release comfortably. Close your eyes. Feel yourself settling here. Allow the physical body to settle first. So allow the body to start to feel heavier. The arms are heavy and relaxed. The legs are heavy and relaxed. Allow the skull to become heavy and relaxed. Start to soften your front body, your front ribs, your upper abdomen, the navel center, the lower abdomen softens. Settle into your breath. We're not trying to cultivate a particular pranayama technique here. We're just allowing the body to breathe for us. Settle your face. Allow the eyes to become softer behind the closed lids. Imagine the flesh of your cheekbones are melting towards the ears, towards the temples. Relax the root of your tongue. Relax the hinges of the lower jaw. Feel yourself settling into your space. The physical space that you're taking up on your mat, on your floor. Feel yourself settle into the atmosphere of your room. Feel the air on your skin. See if you can feel into the space of your room or wherever you're lying at this moment. Settle into the equanimity of the mind. Allow that constant chatter to quiet down. Just notice how everything quiets a bit after your practice. The breath becomes slow and even. The mind isn't chattering away. It's more quiet. Even the sensations within your own body, 5 senses, everything starts to quiet a bit. Feeling a sense of peace in your own body, your own mind, your own emotions. Not being concerned about what you can or cannot do, but instead being comfortable with what is right now. Please stay here as long as you need or want. When you decide to make the transition back into your everyday lives, then just do so slowly, reawakening the breath in the body, the movement in the body. Take your time whenever you choose to make your way back to your seat. And just become present with what is. Sometimes we just have to take that lunge. I thank you for joining me today in this practice. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. The light within me bows to the light within you. Namaste.